Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Walmart exclusive AEW Unrivaled Eddie Kingston figure from Jazwares. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this figure looks decent, and yeah, I'd say like it definitely reads as Eddie. So the proportions I think are slightly off, but that's just because of the action figure process, what has to work for engineering, etc. But I mean, obviously they've kind of got the main points there. There's a lot of colored plastic, and that totally works here. I mean, again, Eddie's look is very basic, and that's literally part of his characters. Like that, not being basic, but like being kind of very straightforward, just like no nonsense. And as we can see, like pants here, just all black plastic with the boots, the cargo pants, just very well sculpted here. Lots of wrinkles, and the pockets are sculpted well. Then we get the belt's all in yellow, which ties into the kind of top / singlet that he's got going on with the yellow piping. It's nice and bright as well, and cleanly applied as to boot, which is very, very nice. So we get the the kind of lion here on the back, very nicely done. It's clearly Tampo. Unfortunately, I got a lot of paint scratch here on the back of the head, which is a little sad. But the hair is done nicely, and the likeness itself I don't think is like kind of spot on, but I think part of that is honestly just the fact that due to Jazwares' process, obviously his beard is more of like stubble, so it's a little more subtle, and Jazwares definitely doesn't do subtlety with this process they do. Like, it's not photoreal, it's not printing, it is literally paint applied, pardon me. And so the beard just looks a little thicker than it should be, and I think that throws the likeness off slightly. But other than that, I think with a slightly different paint job, it would probably read a little bit better there. But other than that, definitely decent looking figure. Pretty nice loadout of accessories here, so let's get right into it. And first off, we get two different head sculpts. So we looked at the kind of like snarling face that comes on the figure right out of the box. I believe this is the one that came on his standard Unrivaled or Unmatched. I can't actually remember what that is. It's been a while. But then we get an alternate head, which is more of the stoic face. I think this reads a lot better as Eddie. Not only that, but we get the bandana here, and that is removable, which is nice. So yeah, really cool all around. Actually, yeah, now I'm looking at that sculpt is actually really, really good. It's just a matter of the paint being a little heavy, and that's just kind of Jazwares' style. So yeah, so there's that, the alternate head. Speaking of the head, we do get a hat with the E and the K on it. And those are actually sculpted in. That's not just paint on the front of the cap. There's actually sculpt for the raised letters. And then those are painted white. So very nicely done there. Fits pretty much perfectly on the head. So it's this kind of straight up navy blue. You can see some of the stitching going on there as well. So really well done there. Then we get the rosary. So as you can see, just brown plastic. Unfortunately, yeah, they didn't really kind of punch out here between one thread and the other. So it looks that kind of detracts a little bit, I think, from it. It kind of takes the effect out of it, if you will. But other than that, definitely decent. And then finally, we get the Eddie Kingston shirt with this kind of emerald green and the kind of branches here, just Eddie Kingston, EK, Mad King, etc., and just Velcro on the back. So that will do it for accessories. Articulation balance here are actually fantastic, and as you can see, freestanding kicks, no problem. This took like no time to get into, so great there. Then in terms of the actual like finer points of the articulation, we are on a ball hinge for the head, so we can look up, we can look down. We don't really get any tilt, there's no really room there, but we do get rotation. Then we get the arms coming into a Y pose. We do get bicep swivel, double jointed elbows coming to here. We get hinge and swivel at the wrists, all horizontal. We get a ball joint at the diaphragm, ball joint at the waist. That actually gives us some pretty decent crunch, some really nice arch back, and tons of side to side. So really lots of room going on there. Then we get to the hips, and we are almost full splits, absolutely beautiful. Obviously, Eddie's not gonna be doing splits, but you got them if you want them, and definitely helps with a lot of the poses and stuff like that. We get a pretty much perfect 90 for the straight kick, which is excellent. And then we get thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which are gonna come to about here. We're gonna be hindered, so we're only getting about 90 thanks to the just the bulkiness of the sculpt. Then we get some boot cut. We get some really nice point. No forward whatsoever, but some pretty nice rocker. So that will do it for articulation. Getting into size comparisons, here he is with some other AEW figures. With some other wrestling lines. With some domestics. With some imports. With some monsters. Finally, with articulated icons, Oni and yours truly in human form as a Valverse Action Force figure. So my final thoughts on the Walmart exclusive AEW Unrivaled Eddie Kingston figure from Jazwares is that this is definitely a decent figure. You know, the aesthetics are kind of a little bit all over the place, I guess, but the accessories are definitely decent. The articulation is fantastic, and just kind of a nice figure overall. And you know, obviously, like I said, particularly in terms of the aesthetics, because Jazwares and just the process that they use is so heavy-handed with the paint, it's hard to kind of get the subtlety. So the likeness seems, I think, more off than the sculpt actually is. So there is that, but you know, it's definitely a kind of cool addition. I kind of passed on the original Eddie Kingston figure, and I forget why. I definitely saw it in stores a couple of times, but this one I was like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll get this one. And I think with some extra hands and more subtle paint, this figure would definitely be like even better. And there's definitely people out there who can do those. I mean, obviously adding the hands, it's Jazwares, so you can just add hands from other figures. But the paint, definitely, I would love to see some custom jobs with this. But overall, yeah, I definitely, if you're an Eddie Kingston fan, absolutely pick this up. And it is showing up. Again, it is a Walmart exclusive, and it's on pegs and shelves in Walmarts everywhere. I didn't really see a ton around me, but I did end up finding some later after I got this one as a gift. So yeah, I wish you the best of luck in finding it. And if I find a link for this, I will put it in the description below, but I couldn't find one before I did this video. So there is that. So I wish you the best of luck. And yeah, I just hope you join me again, because I do multiple reviews a week of action figures related to tokusatsu, dinosaurs, monsters, pro wrestling, of course, and more. So if any of that appeals to you, come on back and let's just escape the world for a while, talk about some nice plastic. And yeah, hope to see you again, just whenever I do another video. Ultimately, I just hope you're well. I hope that all your toy dreams come true. And most importantly, I hope that you and yours stay weird, simians.